Yeah, okay, time to live free. Plenty goals I'm achieving. Some real life topics and talking financial freedom. Mindset, soul and love, everything in between. This is Freedom Podcast. Tune in, live free. Hey, got my mindset right and I got the drive. Planning one day, no more job, no more 9 to 5. Love, money, mind. Love, money, mind. This is freedom. Tune in, cause it's going down. Woo!
Hi, this is Anna and welcome to another episode of Your Freedom Podcast. And in this episode, I interview Sara Birchmier. Sara is an intuitive alchemy healer. She's also a soul alignment coach, and she helps women who have a spiritual calling gain confidence to launch their soul's mission. You're going to love this episode and I can't wait to intro you to Sara. So Sara, I am really pleased that you've come on my show. I know we recently connected in the Boss Babe group, I think it was. And like we were just saying just before we clicked on record, the podcast, it's called the Freedom Podcast, and we have these 3 pillars: freedom in love, freedom in money, and freedom in mind. And the reason we have these pillars, this was something I didn't tell you, is because it's kind of how I got equilibrium in my life through my sort of journey. And I believe by sharing our stories of how we've got to why we're doing what we're doing today, and that we can it just really kind of inspires and just supports other people. And because there is no normal, is there, in the world? That's how I see things. So tell everybody, because I know you're a real spiritual entrepreneur coach, aren't you, really, with some of the programs that you're doing. So let us know how you came to be doing all this today. What's your story?
My name is Sara, the Sacred Heart Alchemist, and I'm the founder of the Abundant Heart Alchemy Soul Alignment Coaching Program. And the way that I have gotten where I am today started at a very young child. At the very earliest age, I've been in tune with my spirituality. I grew up in Western Christianity and very religious culture, though.
Right, yeah.
Pentecostal. I don't know if you've heard about that. And however, it caused my perception of God to be one of him not being very loving or nice. My soul was drawn to spirituality. And then on top of that, I grew up in a very abusive home. One of those homes where everything looked great on the outside, but on the inside, it was very toxic. My father is very what you call narcissistic, and I was very strong-willed and loving and free. So he pretty much did whatever he could to try to steal that from me and belittle me. And so that led
restrict you probably as well, like restrict you, like not allowing you to be free and be that person you need to be, really.
I couldn't have friends. If I went to a friend's house, he'd say you could just go for 1 hour and come back. And so I found alternative ways to hang out with friends. When I got older, I would skip school so that I could hang out with friends. And the friends that I chose to hang out with were drug addicts and other kids who were, in abusive homes. And so I started making toxic decisions at a very young age. I was actually addicted to meth before I was 15 years old, and alcohol, and I dropped out of school, and I was emancipated from home at 17 because my dad was abusive and I was set out on my own. I did get on my feet into my own apartment, job, car, things like that, at the age of 18, but I had never had loving support in my life. And then at the age of 25, I got married to someone that I met in the drug world, in that lifestyle. We had 4 children, and he was very psychologically abusive, and actually divorced me for another woman, had an affair, things like that. And in 2017, I had a complete mental breakdown. I, on top of all the abuse and trauma that I've been through my whole life, I had 4 kids with him, and I was separated from them.
Oh no.
A lot of variables of my life. And I had a complete mental health breakdown. I was suicidal. I was locked in a mental health ward for 105 hours on an emergency order of detainment to be evaluated. I was diagnosed with 4 mental health illnesses, borderline schizophrenia, dissociative personality disorder, severe PTSD, and bipolar 2. I was sent with 9 different medications out. And then over the next, I was homeless. I was totally lost and broken. However, all of that going on, something inside of me kept striving for healing, kept striving to move forward. It was like I just knew somewhere in my mind that at one point in time, I wasn't like this.
Yeah.
It has to be possible to get back to that space.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was introduced to a book actually called A Course in Miracles. And I read this book, and this book changed my perception
What was the
of God.
title? What was the title again?
A Course in Miracles.
Okay.
It is written by Helen something. I'm so sorry.
Don't worry. Send me the link to it. We'll put it in the comments.
So this book opened my perception to this idea that heaven and hell were states of mind, and that fear and love are the only 2 things that are real, and fear is an illusion.
Yeah.
And so I really started diving into this spiritual awakening that I had began to have. And I really began unlearning everything that I had been taught about God and about spirituality. And I entered a period of time where I realized that I had God powers,
Exactly.
as goddess, and even though I was really afraid to speak on it for like another year because I didn't know
That's like me. That was like me. I think that's what it took. It's so funny. It's like there's been moments in my life I'm like, I don't care what anyone thinks, and then obviously there is something in my subconscious that doesn't all the time. Is that right? Because I saw a quote recently that said, why do people bother about what people think about them when they don't even like themselves? I laughed and thought, is it true? But it is, it stops us moving forward, and it's sharing our stuff. And then when we do, we're like, oh my God, like not just the healing within yourself, but also sharing that voice. That's why this podcast put together, because I think by sharing everything that you're sharing, just really gives people that light at the end of the tunnel. Like it could be them that get, that's why I wanted to put this together. People listening who could be going through a struggle, you always can see that glistening light, can't you? You know what I mean? And it's just so lovely hearing you tell this.
And I'm glad that you bring that up, because I really want to share the trap of the mind that I had and I was in. Even when I was still married to my ex-husband, I had anxiety and PTSD so bad that I literally, and this is me just being vulnerable and transparent here, but I literally was afraid to walk down the hall in my own home. I lived in a great area. There was nothing to do. But in my mind, I was afraid to walk down the hall alone in the dark at night. And so I actually urinated in a trash can. I was a grown woman urinating in a trash can at night because I was so afraid. And that fear was a prison of my mind. That was a world that trauma had created for me. And I don't live that way today.
Exactly.
So
it just shows you that anybody can, I think. We've all got that pattern. It's like, that's why we have the freedom in mind, because even though I don't like the word mindset because it's such a bigger thing, but it's freeing your mind to be able to give you the, like you say, like give you the powers to be able to change things.
Yes.
It's all down to us, isn't it? But it is difficult to do.
Yes. And so the tools that I used that began helping me was meditation. I started doing meditation in 2019. And I believe that helped me calm down enough to make a decision to go into rehab. I went into rehab in January of 2020, and I've been sober ever since. So it's been about 20 months. And this is just to show you how rapid our healing and mindset shifts can change. It's just only been 20 months since I chose to go into rehab, and I further kept working on my inner healing and alignment, doing hypnosis, meditation, energy work, and using those spiritual tools to help me grow. And then about a year ago, I was just waiting tables. I was homeless, and I had this idea that I wanted to become a life coach, because I was already working with girls in recovery as far as like Alcoholics Anonymous goes.
Yeah.
And so I thought, oh, I will become a coach, and then I can make $100 an hour. Well, then I started really working on my wealth freedom, calling in abundance, calling in, working with the law of attraction, and a self-alignment, and just slowly and slowly, the universe kept bringing more things to me, and people, and like specific Facebook ads and YouTube ads. And I came across on a call with a coach who was like, I can help you grow your business. I can help you do this. And we began balancing chakras and doing yoga together. And then I realized that I could create a coaching offer, right? And I could charge $2,500, and I could work with 2 women a month. And I was like, oh my God, there's time freedom. There's time freedom. And then in March of this year, I learned that I could create a group coaching offer, and I could coach 10 women at a time, charge them $2,500 each. And my consciousness about wealth just exploded. And here I am now, fully aligned. I'm recovered from all of that past trauma that had me blocked. I have time freedom. I have financial freedom. I get to live what I'm passionate about, helping other women do exactly what I did.
Yeah, brilliant.
My entire coaching program is everything that I went through in that 4 years. I mean, I have relationship modules because I've gotten out of toxic, abusive relationships. I have, parenting modules because I have kids and I help parent. We have, you know what I mean? It's just a little bit of everything that I have done and that has helped me, all rolled into a magical.
It sounds awesome that you've got it all there together to help everybody. Would you say that, like, anybody that's listened to this that may have gone, like some of the stuff that you shared that was really vulnerable, and thank you for doing that, like anyone that listening to that and can relate to it, what do you think is like the first step? Obviously they can come and reach out to you, and you've got a support program, a life coach program, but what is the first step? Like, is there anything you want to sort of share, like tips wise? Like, what was the first thing you did? Like, did you share everything that was happening with you with somebody? Did you, who did you reach out to, if not home?
The first thing that I would ever suggest to anyone that wants to move forward in life is having the courage to do it. Having the courage to be aware that things aren't working for me. I don't like this, and I want to change or go in a different direction. Courage is the first step. Being willing is the next step. Willing to get vulnerable, willing to release the ego and say, I just may not know everything that I think I know. And then reaching out to someone. I always, always, always suggest meditation, because meditation is like medication. And for me, as soon as I stopped taking pharmaceutical medicine and I started taking spiritual medicine, meditation is like medication for the soul. Meditation is my personal go-to for everything. And there are so many free guided meditations.
There are. And you know what? I can really vouch for that, because through my journey, I used to think meditation or spirituality and stuff was, oh, it's all a bit woo-woo, a bit weird, you know what I mean? And then I found myself that, because I had like a 32 length legal battle, loads of different court hearings, went on for 6 years. And just that mental capacity to keep that going, as well as trying to do positive stuff, was hard going. And I wasn't sleeping, my subconscious was working overtime, the anxiety and all that. And I now, if I don't do it, I feel like I've missed out. I run a bath, I put lavender oil in and all different, like just no lights, just little candles, you know, just have a chill out time and listen to meditation. I had a meditation music just because I just want to relax, really. Or I've done guided meditations before, and also just meditate by myself now, you know, as you become more experienced. And I laughed at myself recently because I thought, God, do you remember when you used to think that all of this was weird? Do you know what I mean? Which I think there are still a lot of people that do, but it's kind of, that comes under my self-care umbrella. You know, it's really deeply understanding who we are and being unapologetically me for that minute, you know. So yeah, I can definitely, anyone that's not tried meditation that's listening to this, listen to me and Sarah, give it a go, because
well, I'd like to share, because sometimes people need conscious information. Their conscious mind needs to know the benefits, right? Like a child, you tell them not to do something, and sometimes they're not going to listen to you, and you tell them why they shouldn't do it, or why you want them to do it, right? They're like, why? You know, and when you tell them why, they're like, okay, I'll do it. But meditation actually, the scientific effects that it has on your brain is it brings your brain waves down to the lower delta and theta brain waves that actually create space to create new neural pathways and synapses in the brain, so that you are able to then push through to making new decisions. It changes the cognitivity of our behavior, and that is why meditation is so magical. Whatever you can get your brain to slow down to those alternate conscious states of being is what is going to create more magical things. Like different people and experiences will come across your path by choosing to change the state of your brain.
No, I love it. That totally makes sense. I didn't know all of that, but so thank you for saying that. I didn't know all that. And it's just good to know, because that's how you feel. Do you know what I mean? That's how you feel. And it's so true as well, because it also gives you focus, and that probably helps that synergy with things. Because I just keep meeting women who I just think I'm so connected with. Even just speaking to you now, I'm like totally on that wavelength, I suppose. You know, like sometimes when you meet people, you're not always on the same way. And it just reinforces all the stuff that has helped me on my journey, if you know what I mean. And I just think all of this stuff is so important. And I think it just does give you focus on it, because if you focused on, it's like if you're doing a job that you really hate and you're doing it for the money to survive, that's your focus, isn't it? It's like survival. Well, actually you want to be thriving into doing something that you choose to do, because all the good stuff comes from when you're like doing things for other people and you're helping people and you get a really good feeling. That's why the singers and the celebrities go and off and do what they really, really enjoy. Not that I'd want to be a celebrity, but it's about doing something you love, isn't it? And then it doesn't feel like work, and you're actually helping and putting that purposeful thing, mission into the world. And when you focus on that in an abundant, calm way, like you say, in a meditative state, and you're working on you, then it just is abundant, isn't it? Because of the focus of where you're at. It's so hard sometimes when there's a lot of stuff going on for people, because there's a lot in the subconscious, and that's where by meditating you can work on all that. It took me ages to actually just allow myself to cry. I used to beat myself up for crying, thinking it was a weakness, and actually it's good now. If I have a good old cry, I can just move on. Do you know what I mean? So I've got all that energy out, and I've allowed myself to be, and I always feel 10 times better. But we hold it back. It's a weakness. It's a weakness. So no, I love all this stuff. It's great to have you on the show. If people that are listening to this are like, hey Sarah, I really connect with you, really want to know more, how can they reach out to you, because I know you're working on some stuff right now that you're going to share and send over to us so we can get that in the show notes. But tell everybody how you can help them.
I have a secret Facebook group that is absolutely free, where inside I talk all things about meditation, subconscious reprogramming, energy body alignment. We do breath work. We call in abundance. We do all of the things, and I will give you the link to join that Facebook group. It's actually called Money Alignment Support Group.
Brilliant.
And also, you can follow me on Instagram at Christ Conscious Life.
Yeah, okay, we'll put all this in the show notes as well. We'll put your Instagram in there.
Yeah.
And are you on Facebook as well? You're on Facebook as well, aren't you?
Yes, I'm on Facebook under Sara Alchemy.
Okay, so everybody, that if you're on Facebook, Instagram, you want to jump inside Sara's group, I'm going to put all the links below. So if you're on iTunes, it'll be in the show notes. If you're on YouTube, it'll just be in the comments below this. So big thanks for coming on. I always ask everybody the same question at the end of each episode, and it is, what does freedom mean to you? So what does freedom mean to you, Sara?
Freedom to me is living authentically.
Yeah, I love that.
In alignment with your authentic self. Whatever that is, as long as you're being authentic to you, you're free.
Exactly. You're so right. You're so right. Love it. So everybody listen to Sara, live in your authentic being, because it's the only way to be, isn't it, really?
Yes.
So big thank you, Sara, for coming on the show and sharing all your vulnerability and your personal story, and how you can also help them, and how all of this spiritual stuff and meditation has really helped transform your life. So anybody listen to this, go and check out Sara's group, reach out to her if you're on Instagram or Facebook. It's been great having you on here. Stay in touch, and our paths may cross in the future, and we can maybe come back on the show and let us know what you're up to. So thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Your Freedom Podcast. And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes and subscribe on my YouTube channel. And if you want to get more freedom in your life, then come and join Your Freedom Project Facebook group, which the link is below in the comments section. And I am giving you a copy of my visualization manifesting book. So manifest more freedom in your life and live the life of your dreams.
Hey, thank you for listening. Hope you had a blast. Here to elevate your life. It's the Freedom Podcast. Love, money, mind. Love, money, mind. Wanna see you all win. Wanna see you all shine. Just make sure that you subscribe. Bringing good vibes. Join the Facebook group. Now it's time to change your life. Hope you come back. Right now is the chance. This is an experience. It's the Freedom Podcast. Hey.